What's up, guys? I'm here with Daniel Bertelson from Madison, Wisconsin.
What's going on, guys?
And Dan, I wanted to have you on the podcast because you've done some creative things with creating inventory and things that are different than other brokers that I've seen to help your agents when inventory was at historic lows. Can you just give me some insight to that?
Yeah, I think right now everybody is, needing to strategize, right? Like there's still going to be houses closing. We need to go out there, and I know one of the terms, and I can't give credit to who it came from, but to like go out there and get our unfair share of what is out there closing.
Sure.
And I think we've had to look at like what trends, where is that inventory actually coming from? Because where we're at, we have developers that are some of the larger controllers of some of the, larger developments or whatever. Where we are, they're throttled way back because of the time and investment that it takes to set some of that stuff up.
Sure.
And so now you've got, all that investment out there. Well, their profitability, because their margin is low, they're going to go as slow as possible. And while in our market, literally we have multiple offers on properties selling in a day still, things like that. And in other parts of the country, they have 20 houses for sale
Right.
in a neighborhood. So I think people have had to get creative, not only like, okay, I'm going to look at possibly doing my own development. We've had several agents partner with builders and even create their own building companies and say, I guess I'll build some houses. So I mean that one's kind of maybe a little out there, a little bit difficult for somebody to think they could obtain, but is it not just networking?
That actually is how one of my agents became a builder. Their builder went bankrupt while they were building their custom house.
There you go.
Now they're a builder. So what has that done for you in terms of, is that creating that much more inventory, or is it?
No, I think right now it's at that beginner phase of like people reaching that, I don't want to say frustration point, but I think if anybody, and I'm sure, you could maybe back these two words up, but I have summarized like the last 12 months of what's going on, maybe even the last 18 months down into two words. And one of them's weird and the other one's bitchy.
Yeah.
And I know that second word might offend some people,
No,
whatever. But
not on my podcast.
Yeah, not on your podcast. Awesome. But I mean, that's what this feels like. And I think when you translate then, okay, need more inventory, obviously, building houses. Okay, that's a little out there. But what are the other opportunities? What are the other strategies that we should be looking at on where it is? And I think we can look at things, obviously, like what are the demographics of people that are aging in place?
Sure.
We have a lot of elder care issues because of affordability in that environment as well. So now we have agents that have decided to start focusing on end of year or end of life care type planning and things like that, reaching out and working with estate planning people.
Well, I think I love that you brought that up because it's such a process that people are uneducated in. They don't know what their options are.
Correct.
So yeah, I think, and we didn't see this silver tsunami that they talked about where they're not downsizing, they're staying in their house longer. They don't know kind of what the next steps are. So I think that's a brilliant.
Well, when a condo fee is hitting, $570 a month,
Right.
and they're sitting there in their paid off home with and can say, I can hire Tommy down the street to do my lawn and snow for $200 a month.
Right.
I have this person deliver all these other things to my home and take care of me. It's like, why on God's green earth would they move out of where they feel comfortable, where they whatever, if they can afford to do the same thing as moving over to some of these facilities?
I think you just built an idea for a new company, and it's an HOA service company.
It's a service company for those people, And I think, and actually, wouldn't that just be a targeted demographic of service companies, or probably is anyway? But again, back to how are we searching for inventory through those types of strategies, right? And so let's look at the other ones, which unfortunately come with a bit of a negativity, but death and divorce.
Yeah.
Those are unfortunately two things that drive housing inventory needs and changes. So those are a couple of aspects that I think some agents, not because it feels good, to have that as an element or something you're tracking.
You're helping people through a difficult time.
It is, and I think done professionally, properly, and marketed with care
Yeah.
and
You don't want to be the ambulance chaser
no
lawyer, right?
And I think, I mean, even that's why I think that's why I've said that, because even inside of me right now, I feel like, oh man, that's kind of a little dirty, right?
Sure.
But it's obviously a natural aspect. Then I think you can start getting into maybe some of the more data-driven, strategies or analytics, right? So now maybe we're going to go in and look at, okay, what parts of the city were built during this period of time
Right.
that would have housed people that have these sorts of needs that have now changed.
Yeah.
What are those services? Where are those services now? How can we direct target market to a group of people that are most likely going to be moving, right? So, and then you can get down into the smaller ones where it's secondary home markets and some people are liquidating.
Sure.
What does that mean for them back where they have? Hey, have you ever thought about, cashing in on your secondary home,
Right.
getting into your final home? Now you're targeting a group of people that they're not going to nursing homes, but their kids just left the house.
Yep.
So again, I mean, and we could probably come up with another
10 more ideas.
10 more.
Sure.
Sure. But
What do you think that targeting looks like? I mean, what are you telling your agents to target those markets? Like, are you talking about social retargeting campaigns? Are you talking about mailers?
I think at least right now, and it's a double-edged sword. U.S. Mail is
It works.
back. It's working.
Yep.
Sadly, the postage is
Insane.
insane.
Yeah.
And I think the only
EDDM's still not bad.
no,
And you can get a full size. I mean, 8.5 by 11. It's just crazy. Like,
the postage side alone.
Yeah.
Especially depending on what you're trying to focus and target on.
Yep.
But I think that piece alone right there is still effective.
Sure.
But then I think the agents right now that are still kind of continuing on to be successful, they're super busy. Even when the market starts doing some challenging things, it's still always going to be community based.
Right.
So a lot of those agents, it's quarterly events for sure. If you're not doing quarterly events, it doesn't even matter if anybody comes to them.
Yeah.
And that's what's it's such a struggle. It's like, do you want to, every time we do a quarterly event, because like when we train new agents,
Yeah.
they have to participate their first year.
Yeah.
And we show and every time we do it with them, it generates not only inventory listing, but it generates buyers and it generates business.
Well, it's funny because one of the things that I've talked about for a long time, a lot of neighborhoods have these giant community garage sales, right? Get a Kona ice truck
You got it.
and put it out in one of those neighborhoods and just say sponsored by.
We have so that's on our docket for next spring. It's where each agent on the team is choosing a neighborhood.
Nice.
And we will sponsor them together, but that way we'll buy the supplies for people. We'll
Yep.
get the signage. We'll do all that for the neighborhood. The neighborhood's going to see us. We're helping them do their thing. It's a lot of work. By the way, it's way more work than people want to give credit
Yeah.
organizing garage sales. But regardless, that's that in community piece. Then where they're obviously generating inventory, and that even leads back to the adage. And I'll leave it with like open houses. We got to get back, like open houses. People are like, oh well, if there's so few people, but those are people walking up to you to talk to you face to face.
Conversations, man.
And one is amazing.
Yeah.
You'd pay for it online.
Oh, yeah.
And yet we have this not free, but we have this very easy ability when we do have some inventory to go generate more.
Right.
And the fact that you get interviewed by the neighbors
Yeah.
for free.
Well, I think it's one of the greatest things you can do for an open house is go invite the neighbors.
Sure.
Go knock on their door and say,
Yeah.
hey, we're holding an open house this weekend. It starts at 2:00. I'd love to open the door for the neighbors around 1:40.
Yes, special invite, right?
VIP.
Oh, and you guys could go look at we're talking 17 years. The Tom Ferry's, like super open house.
Yeah.
Brian Buffy, any one of the real estate things, but super open houses. Like, how do you do them? Are you inviting the neighbors? Now you're getting face to face with potential listing clients down the road.
Yeah.
And by the way, for anybody that's listening right now and is super frustrated because they're like, I need a deal in 30 days. Well, in my market, listings are still selling really quickly. So you want a seller,
listing, right?
If you are I've been in both, in hardcore levels of both. So, and if you're in the other side of that right now and you're going, yeah, well, I need a buyer right now. Doing a community event would still possibly drive that. And I mean,
Sure.
from that standpoint, when you are talking to the neighbors of a house you're trying to sell, say, by the way, if you know anybody else.
Right.
And it seems like such a corny line that we've been taught to say, but let's face it, people also then avoid
Right.
saying anybody else.
Yeah.
Do you have any family members or friends? And they just stop way too soon.
Well, we talked about it just a minute ago with follow-up for any kind of lead. It has to be 7 to 10 times.
Yeah.
And it's hard, but this is a numbers game. So the more conversations you can create on a daily basis lead to more conversations that will lead to business.
Yes.
So,
And I think like when now too, and this is up your alley, right? And I would actually be the one calling you to ask for your help with this. But regardless, the other idea along the lines of coming up with the geographic farming pieces or the data that we need to go market to find inventory, we need to start being more granular about it.
yeah.
There's going to be so many listings that sell in the entire U.S. this year.
Yeah.
Right? It just is what it is.
We were at, 4.4 million, down from over 6 a couple years ago.
And because let's face it, like if you're on the right now, if you're out there and you really want a listing and somebody gets a listing, who else was thinking about listing their home when they see that sign go up? So are you going to be mailing the 25 homes that are right around that house that just listed?
One of my most
not?
successful agents, Circle Prospects, with new listings that aren't his.
Why not?
Yeah.
Someone sees that sign.
Hey,
it
did you
does
see
get
the
them
new
thinking.
house that just went up for sale on Main Street?
All the time. And by the way, that's a perfect reminder to all the agents out there who poo-poo, I don't do a CRM because it's automated and because it's not personal. Well, I'll tell you this much. If they're at least getting an automated email from you that says a house sold down the street, instead of that agent that's going to door knock them on week 2 of the listing because it's part of their listing presentation plan, I would hope to God that you would have gotten in the door first with your top of mind awareness and your connection before a competitor agent does it for doing business in your own neighborhood.
Yeah.
So stop poo-pooing automation and understand it's a race.
Yeah.
It's a race to be first in some aspects, still a lot. Let's face it. What is it? NAR puts it out every year. It's still 70+% of people work with the first agent they frickin' meet, guys.
Right.
Like,
Well, that's,
I
I joke because when we first got CorPresent, I told the agents, I said, send out 5 texts a day to your past clients. Most of these agents have hundreds of past clients. I said, text 5 of them, just say, hey, I'm trying out this new technology. Would love your feedback on it.
right?
You're not asking them for a hard sale or if they're looking to sell, but hey, would you mind giving me some feedback? My partner Shannon mass text or emailed everyone in her database, all of her past clients, and had 52 people raise their hand and say, yeah, I'd love to help you out. And some of it was, and she went, oh shit. I've got to do 52 CMAs in 24 to 48 hours.
Next time I won't send that out to everybody at the same time.
That was it made me laugh, but I'm like, that's such a good problem to have.
Such a huge, awesome problem to have.
Yeah. So if you need something to keep you busy that's going to generate conversations, that's an awesome one.
That's a super awesome one. I like to, right in that same line, because maybe you have, you don't have that particular experience or relationship with that person, but another one I really like is ask for a Google review.
Yeah.
From 8 people you didn't, even if you did a transaction with them 15 years ago. If you've still had a relationship with them, but maybe they're not a big referring person, they don't come to your events, but certainly they still get your stuff. And as far as they're still good. It's just, you've been too chicken shit to call them for the last 10 years. Everybody, by the way, in the entire industry has done this. So don't even think for a second that they haven't or forgot about somebody. Nobody doesn't. I recently reached out to somebody I literally have not spoken to in 18 years. Okay, I have never done a real estate transaction with them, and I wasn't comfortable asking for hey, do you want to test out my real estate app?
Right.
But that's a good one for somebody who does see my stuff more often or whatever. But that one was a little bit easier, and it was, I helped you with something, because I did. I helped him buy 18 years ago or something. Haven't really had much interaction with him yet, but he knows who I am. I know who he is, and it was like, back then, man, Google reviews weren't even a thing.
Right.
I was like, would you still do one for me? And by the way, do you or anybody in your family or anybody else have a small business that could use a 5-star Google review? And I'd be happy to try to kind of support in return like that or whatever. And the conversation went great, you know, and everything, and it's already resulted in some business for my team.
Well, and
So-
people are sleeping on Google My Business. It's one of the most important things that you can possibly have,
Sure.
especially because search is changing dramatically with.
Guys, dude, Google My Business, because it's geographic.
Yep.
Like it's cool that it's naturally going there, but like that one's big right now because you can't be bought. Zillow can't compete there, by the way.
No, and AI is relying on it for, hey, if I ask who the top 5 agents in Dayton, Ohio are, it's going to look to Google reviews and then a bunch of other things. Sure. But I truly believe that it's going to be more important, at least equally important than social media.
Yep.
To actually post updates on there regularly. You have a new listing, post it to your Google My Business as an update. All your reviews, obviously, respond to them. The more interaction you have, the heavier Google likes to rate you.
I know. As we could sit here, and by the way, I think we could go off now for like 10 minutes on how to trick out your Google profile,
Sure.
some other strategies or whatever. But I also want to address, because I love it when, like you and I've been working in this business for a really long time. Yeah. But I like to also kind of try and anticipate what somebody listening might say, and they would maybe be like, yeah, but I don't have I don't have this or that yet.
Sure.
What would you?
Google My Business is free.
Right.
So start there.
Start by having a profile.
Well, and if going back to we have a really cool CMA tool.
Yeah.
Most agents, I think every agent in the country has RPR. So do that.
Right.
This doesn't have to be rocket science.
No. Just it's a contact sport, and I know I've heard people say that for years too.
Yep.
Along doing that, but like getting something out.
Yeah.
Something
Everything
is better
works, nothing doesn't.
But like Google reviews, and one thing I really want to address for people that might be new too, because this was a struggle for me, I think, mentally a little bit, is like you go on there and you might search, and then you see your competitors and you see these people that do a lot of business in your area, and oh my God, this person has 126 5-star reviews.
Yeah.
And they've been on Google for all these years
Yeah.
and all this other stuff. Guys, it does not matter. It's like and I'll tell you what, this is the same mindset for people that go like, well, I'm not going to go geographic market in that neighborhood because, agent so-and-so has that on lockdown. And that agent has 19% market share.
Yeah.
Yes, they are number one market share by a lot. And there is 81% market share available for you and everyone else. And I think we forget about that shit. So even if it's your first day on Google, you have no 5-star reviews. Because by the way, all of mine have gotten stolen by my company.
Sure.
Or this one became the team one, this one, whatever. And I am even in the process of starting another new just individual consulting Google business profile for myself.
Yeah.
Because I'm not involved in just one business and everything else. And so I'm starting from square one. I've got like my first 5 or 6 people lined up already to give me reviews.
It's funny that we're talking about this because I have to redo mine because Google shut off my one when we moved addresses. So so I've got to restart.
But don't be worried. If there's a bunch of people in your marketplace with hundreds of 5-stars, it does not matter. Get them now.
Yep.
And make a goal by the end of the year to get 25 something. Whatever.
Well, and here's one of my favorite use cases for AI, and I know you and I could talk about AI in a 3-hour podcast. But one of the really cool things that you can do, download all of the sales for your market, and usually the MLS allows you to do that in a spreadsheet. And I think I uploaded 4,000 results over the last 5 years. I took that and I plugged it into AI and just said, where are there opportunities? In what locations?
Yeah.
And it was freaking awesome.
Cool.
It was like, here are the top 3 neighborhoods that you should focus on.
Yeah.
And it gave me the top 3 agents in each of those markets.
Nice.
The average sale price. And then it gave me, here are the next 5 steps for you to start mailing campaigns, start doing this, this, and this. And it gave me even the cost. And I said, hey, here's EDDM.
Yes. Yeah.
So, it was really cool.
That's
and I was
awesome.
Like, this is so easy.
It's so easy
to target a specific location where there's opportunity.
Well, and I know we kind of started things off with talking about, the challenges with inventory,
Sure.
whether you have too much of it or not enough of it. And I like where you take things there on the side of like, we're not, I mean, in this industry at least now, and I'm just talking about real estate sales maybe in general, we are no longer in a place of figuring out hows. So if your excuse, we'll call it, I guess, for not doing something is lack of how, or lack of knowing, or lack of, something like that, that's a really garbage excuse now. And I'm not saying that, because like there are some people that are like, I'm not techie. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
You have these,
It has no relevance to whether or not you can do some of these things.
you have a second brain.
Right. When somebody was like, that's accounting. I'm not an accountant. I can't do that. And it's like, did you graduate high school?
Yeah.
Good, because I'm asking you to add and subtract some checks, scan them, and do this.
Yeah.
Guys, and so I think the actual notion that AI and nerds like us or anything else is that there's somehow we have something that others don't or whatever, it isn't the case. So I'll wrap up where I was going with all that, but the to-dos then of our industry are all that's left.
Yeah.
The how, the where, the when, how much, the whatever, with AI, with what's available in our brand for sure, resources, content, whatever you got, like your persona, marketing, services, all that stuff. It can all be plugged into that now, and you can literally just say, what do I do?
Well, and if you don't know what to ask, because I think that's
Ask it what to ask.
ask it what to ask. And that was when I saw this developer years ago.
Yeah.
I think he posted an Instagram video, and it was just like, look, anybody can really code. We're just better at Googling shit than you are. And it was like,
Well, we are, and where I was going with that is like, so then what are the differentiators between in the marketplace then?
Yeah.
Who's doing it and who's not doing it?
right.
Do or not do, and like, I mean, yeah, we can take it from Nike in the
waiting for the
80s,
Yoda
right?
metaphor there.
Yeah. Or Nike in the 80s, right? Just do it.
Just
right?
do it.
And that's where it was kind of down to that, and I think we are kind of back to that.
Yeah.
Because there's so much confusion. Again, we got weird and bitchy. We also have, uncertainty obviously is ruling the day. If you were to Google or ask AI, how many times has the word uncertainty been published versus in the last, several months versus the last several years? I'm sure, I don't know, I'm sure the number would be large, but.
I think that's the message for the podcast is just do it.
Just do it, yeah.
So.
Thanks, Nike.
Yeah. Dan,
Something.
thank you so much for joining, man.
You bet, man.